Mic check 1 2.
Hello?
Hello?
No way. Cheers, Kyle, on Facebook. But we had a bit of an issue. My mic wasn't turned on, so we may have to start that bit again. Brilliant. All right, okay. So we're just going to have to do a quick sort of rundown because Matt was being a fucking... Cheers, Kyle. I appreciate that, man. My mic wasn't on after I muted myself. Fucking idiot. All right, so we're going to start this again, so I've got it right for the recording afterwards. So, hi everybody, Matt Geary here again after a massive minor glitch with our technology, more like Matt being an idiot. But anyway, so yes, this is our D&D one shot. It's called The Music of Silence. We are now on session 3. For anybody who hasn't caught up, I would watch the other two, so I don't have to go through it all. But basically, we've got our adventurers. They've witnessed a few weird goings on. People are disappearing and they're not sure about it, and they've made their way through different sort of areas. They found some like a mace with an inscription of KT on it. They've found some maps that just don't make sort of over a lot of sense. Ben has seen some weird shit down in the cellar in the pub. They've made their way to the Militia Fort, and they found some very drunk militiamen there. And we're moving on. There you go, much better. Cheers, Kyle. Brilliant. Okay, yeah. That's why you got people doing it live, because they can tell you when you're messing up. Sorry about that. Okay, all right. I'll make sure to edit that shit out whenever we do this. Okay. Anyway, carry on. So, we were making our way to the Town Watch jail because you want to sort of see what the shiz is with those guys that you overheard in the Pig and Harp. Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, and you were saying about wanting to have a bit of a dander up there.
Bear hunting.
You wanted to talk about something or something on your
Yes, I wanted to have a quick chat with Thesta. So as we're walking along up the road towards the jail, I'll sort of pull him aside and say, "Give me accent, right? Scottish. Okay, here we go. Thesta lad, do you mind if I have a quick word with you?
You may.
You're a bit of a, well, you've got a bit of affinity with all this magical mumbo jumbo, haven't you?
I have affinity with the mystical arts and the arcane energies that they entwine.
Hey, that's what I said. I was wondering, this wee mirror that Kijo found back in the camp. I mean, it's on my mind for quite a while now. Would you be able to do any kind of magical trickery to see if there is some kind of enchanted mirror or something?
I have studied its architecture and design, and it does not appear to be of arcane nature. But having said that, there is some scholarly abilities out there which allow you to divine any mystical enhancements it may contain that belie the mundane eye.
Aye, well, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, I'm not one to second guess your viewing of it and your arcane knowledge, but it might be worth just maybe using some kind of magic on it to see if it itself is a bit strange and a bit weird.
It is indeed quite mysterious item. It's a conundrum that is yet to be unlocked, and it will require some studious hours spent studying it and examining this item.
Oh, aye, maybe not now, but like when we rest next, maybe if you could have a little look at it, that'd be grand.
As you wish.
So you're not looking at it now, you're going to do it afterwards?
Well, I've already looked at it, and we're using arcane, and it just seems to be a fairly mundane item as far as I'm aware. But I'll happily have another look at it now and just double check that this really is a normal, if somewhat fancy mirror.
So you stopping and looking at it?
Well, just like as we're walking along, just kind of just look at it, just examine it and look at it, like have a look at it. I mean, I don't have, unfortunately, detect magic, which would be really good right now. But
okay. Do you? Let's see. So are you looking at it now? Are you looking at the mirror now as you're walking?
Yeah, let's walk along.
Can you roll me a perception check, please?
Perception, not arcane?
No, perception, please.
Damn it. Okay.
Yeah. You don't sort of notice anything overly sort of. You by all means you want to do your arcane check on it as well, but while looking at it, you don't really perceive anything other than it's a mirror.
Matt,
Yeah.
there has been something on my mind in regards to the mirror, and I just sort of like. They're gonna hand it over for obviously first to have a look at. But have we encountered anything before in our career of fighting monsters that required augmented ways of seeing? So where you can't trust your eyes and you have to use reflections or other senses to almost circumvent any illusions.
Ooh, I don't think so. You have fought a lot of sort of nasty stuff, but it's generally being sort of things that have been coming towards you in battle. There's been, you've been in formations, and it's just been, your average sort of demon and sort of a traitor, sort of humanoid character. I'm trying to think. Just trying to think. No, I'm going to say no.
Okay.
You're unaware of anything sort of that would need perception, and the way you're sort of thinking, because you're not sort of, at the minute, sort of the mirror seems important, but it's to you as players, not to them as characters. So, as far as you're aware, it's just a mirror. So you wouldn't be thinking, is this any sort of thought towards sort of what it's doing and stuff? So.
Well, yeah. Well, my other thing would be to think that it's in Captain Byron's possession. Presumably, it's not. Like, why would he have it? It's very, very.
It's just a mirror. It's just a mirror.
Yeah.
It's just a mirror.
Just a mirror.
It's just a mirror.
It's just a mirror.
One way we could test this theory of it just being a mirror. We could cast a fireball at it.
Oh my
It's
god.
still there. It's still there.
Keijo is gonna just sort of reach over ever so slowly, maintaining eye contact, and just take the mirror, just slowly pull it back.
Well, if it's still there, we know it's something a bit more special than just a mirror.
When you have a hammer, every problem starts to look like a nail. When you have a fireball, every problem starts to look like a target.
Right.
I
Okay.
get to prove that theory wrong.
Gentlemen, when we get to the jail, what's our plan? I'm assuming we can't just walk into a jail
We
and
do
say,
have a letter of marque from the realm saying that we have, a certain level of authority here.
well, all that says, I believe, is that we are here to support the militia.
Yep.
If we're right, and this is Sergeant Farr, who at some point was our commanding officer, we could say that we're here to take him back. We could say, we're here to take him off your hands. Clearly, this is an insane person. You don't want him here. He's insane. Let us take him back to the unit.
There is one possible flaw with that plan, which is when we take him, what do we do with him once we've talked to him?
Depends on what he says.
Yeah, that's the problem. There's too many variables in that regards.
I've got another problem. How will we know it's Sergeant Farr? Because we've forgotten him. We don't know what he looks like. We know his name.
Ask him. We'll ask him.
What if he doesn't know?
But then he's no use to us.
If he's mad, my reasoning is he's speaking of things that he sees or he knows that other people can't, and therefore he's being put aside because of it. He could be completely insane, or he could have an insight that is similar to such that we are aware of, and flipping on the orders and the list of names.
he's probably going to be a little bit jumpy, given that things are going really weird. But I think if we can sort of assure him that he's not mad and that things are happening, maybe we can talk him round. Assuming it is Sergeant Farr. If it's not, if it's just some random dude who's gone crazy, then maybe we'll just walk on by. But I think it's worth taking that tack with the guards there, saying, hey, he's a sergeant of the F
company.
Fantastic, yeah, company.
He's a sergeant of F Company. We're F Company. We're here to take him back. He'll be court-martialed. He'll be punished, whatever. But it really is our jurisdiction, not the town watches. And as well, we can lean into the fact that they don't want him here. He's a crazy man. He sounds like he's not done any crimes. He's not done anything wrong. He's just disturbing the peace. Let us take him away. We take him somewhere quiet. We talk to him. If it turns out he is completely useless and balmy, then we'll just let him run free in the countryside as nature intended.
We're going to let Madman loose in the woods.
Absolutely. Why not?
Does a madman shit in the woods?
Send him towards the bear. Two birds, one stone. But no, I think that's a good way to get in there. Is to sort of say, hey, we know who this guy is. Let us talk to him. We'll take him away.
I think the first thing we need to do is to determine his identity.
Yes.
Well,
and we take it from there basically and react accordingly.
Well, if we say to them, like, we understand that you have a Sergeant Farr, and if they say, oh no, we don't, it's like, oh, sorry, we heard it was this crazy man. Who is that then? Maybe we can go along those lines.
Okay, but just take him down and see who it is. I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
So onwards and inwards.
Okay. So you make your way to the jail. Takes you about 15 minutes walk up the road. You come to it's quite a big sort of walled sort of building, quite high walls. Obviously, you don't want your sort of prisoners sort of escaping. There's some big black double gates in front of you to get in, and there's a guard there standing watch.
Okay.
Hail and well met. Yeah. Just.
All right, boys. What are you doing in these parts?
I'll just walk up to him. Oh, sorry, go on.
Oh, no. Captain?
Oh, yeah, I walk up to him. Well met, son. We're from F Company. We understand that one of our men went a little bit crazy, went AWOL. We're here to take him home.
Well, who would that be then?
Sergeant Farr.
Oh, can't say I've heard of a Sergeant Farr before.
Well, he might have gone a little bit bonkers in the head. Heard there's a crazy man that you're holding on to. Is it?
Oh, there's a lot of crazies in this here jail. There's a lot of crazies in here. You have to be a bit more specific.
This one's talking broken biscuits.
Well, I'll need to see your credentials before you come in.
I show him the armor that I'm wearing that says like Realm Army, F Company, like friggin' We Are the Army on my right shoulder. But also we have this as well. This
the letter mark.
Yeah, grab the letter mark as well and just hold it up as well. This is us.
So you've got a letter that says you. So what does the letter say? What was it you're showing him?
It's our orders to say to go and support the militia.
Okay, so he sort of has a look at it. And he says, "Oh, that's really good. That's really good of you to support our militia. Those boys those boys had a few too much drinks last night. But I don't see anything in here about you coming in this here jail."
No, here's the thing. The militia said there was someone in the jail. They didn't say. Unfortunately, they've pointed us in this direction. They've told us he's here.
I want you. Who's going to be talking to this chap? Because I want you to roll persuasion. Yeah.
I'm currently looking at guano and sulfur.
Right, let's see, shall we?
Yeah.
So
Worth a try.
Am I also giving assistance?
Yeah, I think you could be giving assistance as well. Yeah.
Because you get an advantage.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So he sort of has a look at you all. He sees the armor. He sees the sort of quite official looking. The quite official looking documentation. And he's like, "Oh right, after you." And he opens the gate and he says, "Go and talk to the clerk at go and talk to the desk sergeant and he'll sort you out."
Right.
Good man.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
I'll
Right.
put away the guano and sulfur for the moment.
I'm gonna confiscate off that you in a minute.
So you go in through these two big double doors. It's a pretty bland looking room with a desk, and on the left there's sort of a dwarven fellow who's a part of the who's obviously the desk sergeant, and he's just sitting there playing cards on the desk.
Okay. Can I hail him in Dwarvish?
You can indeed, yes.
Yeah. Just like as a passing like Dwarvish hello to him.
Oh mate,
Stone.
what? Where do you hail from?
Nice one. Okay. I hail from off on the Copper Vein Mountains, just way to the north from the Steel Guard tribe.
All right, you sound like a hill dwarf to me, but why? I think you're a hill dwarf, by the way. But yeah.
lots of trees on that hill.
They say a mountain. It's really quite just a bit of a hill.
So it's the Steel Guard who went up a hill and came down a mountain.
it grew.
And he's like, all right there, pal. What can I do you for?
We heard they had a soldier locked up. Went a bit mad. Our sergeant went AWOL. We were told he'd come here. Hopefully, it's the same lad.
Oh, soldiers. Had a few militia in here, but no soldiers that I know of. Can you be a bit more specific?
Well, his name's Sergeant Farr.
No, nobody by Sergeant Farr in here. He sort of looks through his book, and he's like, no Sergeant Farr here.
Is there a troll here?
Trowel. And he has a look down his list. No trowel either.
Okay.
Wait, I thought you boys knew what you're looking for.
We do.
We do.
Yeah, but he might not do his name.
We've been relying on the militia, and just sort of like gives him a look of,
those boys, they can't really be relied on, even as a militia.
Well, I lean over to him and say, we're really hoping that we could find him. I mean, I don't suppose we could pop inside have a wee look around the cell to see if we recognise him. I'd take some coin out and just sort of like.
Are you literally going to try and bribe a town official?
I'm gonna have it under my hand, just on the table, very subtly.
What happened there?
Just a minute,
I want you to roll. Persuasion? Is it gonna be?
Persuasion.
If this turns south, I want to see if there's anywhere I can duck into to try and sneak down.
Yeah, I could be distracting him.
Just if this goes south. Just sort of like I'm prepared.
Persuasion. I rolled a 15.
Okay. I'd say he's because you're a dwarf and he's a dwarf, and it's sort of something that dwarves might do to sort of kind of thing. He's like, I am. I've got some paperwork to do in the back. That door, it's a bit broken. Might sort of open on its own. As long as I'll be back in 20 minutes though, and if I see anything going on, then I'll have to report it. Until then, well, whatever happens.
We'll hold on the fort here. We'll make sure no one goes in or out.
You're a good lad. You're a good lad. So he takes himself off to do some paperwork, and you fellas
take off into the jail.
take off into the jail.
We have a time limit.
Yeah. Okay. I'll not put a massive time limit. If you start going too far on this, I might put a time limit on and stuff. So you go in. It's like a common area and stuff like this. It's sort of like where all the sort of militia officers, not militia officers, all the Town Watch officers sort of chill out, play checkers, relax. There's sort of, a few sort of in there playing checkers. I'm not really taking any massive notice because, they assume that anybody who's come through the doors has been allowed to come through the doors by the desk sergeant.
Down, walk with confidence like you belong there. That's all you need.
And I've got a clipboard.
Yeah.
I'm wearing like soldier armor as well, so some authority going on.
So you can see, let's do this. You can see, I haven't put loads. I had this, what's called as dynamic light, but I thought I'd just do it this way and stuff. So you can that door's open and you can see, let's zoom out here. And you can see down the corridor to a locked door. There's also a locked door to your east as well. They're closed doors, so you can check what they're in or whatever. But yes, that door to your west is open.
Yeah, I'm not going to waste much time. I'm going to head straight in there. Have a look.
So you're going into the west, okay? Obviously,
Yeah.
There's a door on the first door on your left, there's a door on your right, and then there's two other doors as well.
I'm going to stay in the common area for a moment.
Okay, I'm going to check the first door as I go in.
Okay.
Is there any way to look inside, or?
There's like a little hole in there.
Okay. Have a look inside.
You don't see very much. There's like a little desk, and actually I'll show you what you kind of see. You see that as you look through.
I'll try the door.
The door is locked. It's a jail. It's a jail.
Yeah.
You can try. You can.
It's a shame we don't have a rogue, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not trying it now. It's sort of like a last minute option.
It's up to you how you sort of kind of want to get in. You can try and break in. Whatever, it's down to yourselves how you just want to try and get through this.
So how many are behind? Who's followed me in?
I'm behind you.
Okay. Okay, so we've got two of you. I'm going to turn around and go, right, this one's locked. Doesn't look like there's anyone in. It looks like there's some bits and pieces inside it, though, apparently. So if you want, I can give us a little bit of admin rooms before I move to the next one. So someone's looking in there.
How about we scout the first couple and then decide which one's the best option?
Fair enough. Okay, moving to the next one.
So you're not going into that room?
No.
Okay.
Not yet, anyway.
Okay.
He's freaked out. We're not being thorough enough.
It's just like, what? Okay, so you're looking through the one on the one on your right hand side, one on the left hand side. What are you looking at?
Right, go for right. Just make a way.
Yeah.
Next one on the right.
Next one on the right. Okay. You see a similar-ish room.
Bloop.
There is. There is a. I haven't put him in there, but there is a gentleman in that room.
Okay, so what does he look like? Does he have any distinguishing features?
He just looks like a townsperson. He's just sort of like his clothes are a bit ragged. He's sort of sitting on the chair, and he's looking a bit sort of. He's looking a bit upset, but yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is just point at that one and go, okay, there's someone in there. Do we want to have a quick look at the others before we?
Let's look at these rooms first, and then decide which one's best.
Just sort of like to pass by all the other rooms, just to give an idea of who else is available and who else is possible.
We have a limited amount of time
available to talk to.
Yeah, so don't take too long.
So literally just glance in the rooms, see who's sort of like which cells are being occupied, and then decide from there which ones to start talking to.
Okay. Yep.
So back to the left then.
So
Yep,
the left.
left.
So you're going to the front left, the first
Yeah.
one you came to. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You can see through the door. Oh, let's just see. You can see that. I'm trying to think. Sort of. Yeah. All right. You can see pretty much all of it. I think. Sort of. Again, this is a guard's room. So basically, there's you can see sort of a guard sort of here sitting on the seat, his feet up, reading some pamphlets, and that's it.
Okay, so point to that one and go, someone, the jailer in there. Do not disturb, and move to the next one.
Okay, the next one on the left.
Yeah.
You just see a flight of stairs going up. For the sake of sort of brevity, upstairs it's a one-story jail with some like walkways and stuff where guards would be posted and things like that. So you assume that's where that takes you.
Okay, so point that one and go stairs, and then is that a door at the far end?
That is a door at the far end. Yes, it's locked, and there's no. You can't see through it.
I get the impression that the first room on the right is sort of the admin and records room. Would that be a fair assessment?
It looks like a cell to you. There are some bits and pieces.
A cell. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you do notice that you can't sort of. There is like this sort of like curtain thing. Can you see? There's like a curtain thing there as well. That's blocking your view on that part there.
Right,
okay. Fine. So, which do we want to go first? The first available guy.
First?
Check out the room, or check
try
out
the
the
empty
locked
room?
room.
Yeah,
Try
check
the
it out.
first room because there's no one there to scream and shout and alert the guard.
Okay, fair enough. Sort of gonna unlock this one then, or try to.
Bear in mind, you're right opposite the guards room.
Yeah, that's a.
So it's up to you. You can try a break. If you make too much noise, he may be alerted.
Yeah.
And you may have to talk your way out of it. So it's up to yourself.
That's my job then.
Do we want Daniel?
Yeah. He's having a moment.
Do you think that we could?
I think the
we're
rogue.
confident?
I think someone who's suitably sneaky and stealthy can, sneak their way into that first room on the right without disturbing anyone. Would that be fair?
I'm a bit shocked that the magician just suggested something that didn't involve a fireball. So excuse me a second.
Failing that, I could let loose a fireball to open all those doors.
I was going to say that we technically have been allowed in here to look for our
No,
companion.
we have not been technically allowed to. The desk sergeant
Yeah,
went
that's
away
true.
from his desk. That is not allowing us in, so let's not stretch that definition. I
He
think.
to say that no one else got in while he was doing his paperwork, remember?
Yeah.
Okay, so that one, the room next to the guard, it looks like, I know there could be something behind the curtain, but it is closest to the guard, so there's more of a risk factor. This one is less of a risk because it's down the hall, and all I need is sort of like someone posted at the door to just sort of like.
But a suitably skilled rogue should have no problem sneaking into that cell, though, should they?
Flattery will get you everywhere except past locked doors.
How hard would it be to accidentally lock a door so that someone can get out?
It depends if he has the keys. And also,
could-
if
well,
once he's...
They could just block the door or jam the lock.
True.
Yeah, but then you can still scream and shout for help, saying, "Help! I've been locked in," and cause a commotion.
Okay, I could cast a fireball.
That might get people's attention as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bit
It
where
would distraction as well, to be fair.
Tell you what. Let's go. Let's try for the first room. Let's try
Yes.
for the first
So you're
room.
just gonna try and get in there quietly?
sneaky
Yeah.
Okay.
bastard roll.
So yeah, I want you to. Will you have to roll? Would it be stealth or would it be
Thieves tools.
Yeah. So roll your
it's
thieves
dex.
tools.
So it's going to be Dex plus proficiency plus whatever's rolled. Attributes, dexterity.
Ooh.
Where'd that 0 come from?
I have no idea.
Wow.
Ooh.
That's yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. 5 plus 3 plus 3.
Yeah. So you do open the door, but you make a lot of noise opening the door. And the guard who was sitting there sort of kind of comes out, and he's like, "What are you boys doing? What are you doing here?"
We're actually
Surprise inspection.
we're helping out with security checks. We're here to consult with the militia, and they're a bit crap, to be honest. We weren't very impressed, so we came across to offer our assistance to the town watch as well. And one of the things we thought was just to check, just a bit of a spot check on how effective your security is, locks and things like that, in case you had further issues. We were given to understand that we've had a little bit of an outbreak of involuntary guests recently, and we just want to make sure that you're secure.
That's the first thing I've heard about that.
Oh God, that's such that. Honestly, that's going to go into our report. Just the chain of command has no clear communication. You have just done us a great service.
Right. Okay. Okay. Roll me persuasion then, and I'll give you advantage on it. All right. Okay. Yeah. He's all like, right. All right. Okay. Yeah. He's sort of he's a bit chuffed that he's going to be in the report and stuff like that. He's sort of. It's like, a nice one, mate. Nice one. Yeah. So I can just go back into my room, can I?
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no
Right,
worries.
So he takes
In fact,
himself.
in fact, if you want to take a good nap, you look knackered. I'm sure they're not giving you enough time to rest. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
mate.
kind of- that's
Yeah,
20 minutes.
mate. Buzzing. I was up all last night with those militia boys. Oh. So he takes some.
I think you've earned it.
Yeah. So he takes himself off into the room. Puts his feet back up. Puts his sort of helmety type thing over his eyes and folds his arm and takes a bit of a nap.
Okay, go for it.
See, you go into the room. It's a jail cell. There's sort of table. There's some paper and some a pen on the sort of table. Some bit of writing on it. It's kind of like a bookshelf with a few sort of like books and stuff, nothing major. And then you see this big sort of like in a hospital, like a curtain, like a draw curtain.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just gonna check the stuff on the table very, very quickly.
Yeah.
I'm going to draw my sword and use it to move the curtain to one side
I've
for
been
a
in
suitable
hospitals.
distance.
I've been in hospitals. I know what's behind them usually. My guest.
Okay, so we will reveal. Let me just check. You see
It's a prisoner having a bath.
a gentleman on the table, and he's sort of he's on this bed, but he's like strapped down, and he's sort of mumbling to himself.
Okay.
I have no idea why I've given him a guy with horns and stuff, but I think it was just the closest thing there. But yeah. So yes, he's effectively like one of those bed. He's sort of strapped down, a few leather straps. He's mumbling a bit, and he's looking a bit distant at the ceiling.
I'm assuming that the stuff on the table is sort of like records of this person. Is there anything of note?
Do you want to roll me investigation?
Yeah.
Advantage, do you want to help?
Yeah. Okay. You look at the papers that are on the table, and they seem to be sort of what you can sort of discern as maybe sort of like the local sort of psychiatrist's notes. It's sort of it says inmate or not even inmate, sort of inmate slash patient 5329, showing signs of delirium, hallucination, and what else does it say? I didn't write this down, so I'm having to make it up. So delirium, hallucination, and general discombobulation.
Does it say when he was admitted? In prison.
Admitted on the. Just let me check. He was admitted on the. He was admitted on the 16th of Summertide.
Which was how many days ago?
You are on the 17th, so yesterday.
Ooh, okay. So admitted yesterday.
So you say he's a bit. Does he look like he's been drugged?
I'd need you to roll sort of perception on it.
Medicine, I think, would be the thing if it's specifically to see if someone's under the influence.
Yeah, if you want to check if he's on drugs and stuff, just check medicine then.
Okay.
Let's give it a try. So I get my Jack of all trades proficiency bonus, don't I?
No, you obviously you're not sort of you've got a bit of medical knowledge, Mark, but you don't really have enough that will sort of decipher. You sort of, his eyes are looking quite vacant. You assume that maybe he's on some sort of drug to keep him sort of calm, as he is kind of calm. But other than that, you can't think of anything else.
So if I just try slapping him on the face a couple of times to see if it wakes him up.
No.
I want you to roll. I want you to roll perception as well. Who's looking at him, by the way? Who's in there? All three of you looking at him? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, I want you to all roll perception then.
That's a bit better.
Someone's still fiddling around with paperwork.
Is that all rolling? Is it just Athesta and Kiju who've rolled? Or say
No, Mark rolled a 19.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Yep. Okay, so you note that he's looking slightly worse for the wear. You notice a few bruises. He's got a bit of a cut in his cheek. You also note he's got blood or dried blood coming out of his ears.
Ooh, so he's been smacked on the head, something chronic. Let's guess. So, okay, I won't slap him around the face then.
The notes don't go into specifics about his delirium, do they?
It says sort of talking about monsters, talking about hollow faces, and his men, his men being taken.
Can I try something a bit different? I'm going to lean down and I'm just going to quietly say in his ear, "Wake up, Sergeant."
You get no reply.
Okay. Just thought I'd try something a bit different. That was all.
Try name, rank. Try asking for his name, rank, and serial number.
Oh dear. Right here.
Tension.
So okay, then we'll go with a much sharper voice this time of, "Sergeant, identify yourself."
No reply. Nothing. He's still looking. He's still sort of looking at the sky.
Is there any of his equipment anywhere? Is there any of his clothing or anything else like that, or is he just been loaded in here as is?
There's nothing that you can see. He's literally in his. He's effectively in his gruds. You know, he's in this sort of like. You can see, obviously, he's a bit beaten up. He doesn't have any of his personal effects. He's literally just strapped to a bed.
Is he in military issue grunts?
Yep. Okay. Roll me investigation. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see if this sort of roll me investigation. The wizard sort of notes that he's seen underwear like this before.
Jesus.
And you don't understand how, but he knows that these are issues, and he sort of kind of lifts up his little sort of like his sort of gown, and he kind of goes, look, it's the same sort of underwear.
There's his underwear.
Yep.
These conversations then.
Just before you, just before you're sort of like, you know, pulling on your underwear and stuff, and then suddenly that sort of silence kicks in. Even though you were already in silence, suddenly silence kicks in once again. I want you to roll perception for me. All is.
I was gonna say, yeah. I was gonna.
No.
Too busy playing with someone's underwear.
22.
Ben?
Oh, right. Oh, yes, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
20.
Right, okay. Everybody bar Athesta.
Staring at the knickers still. Well, they are. They're just like mine.
You see that there's blood in the room, like you saw before. Steelguard saw before. You see there's blood sort of kind of on the ground by the table. You also notice that the room seems slightly more sort of. It's like there's holes in the walls. It's a bit more derelict than it looked to you originally. And as soon as you sort of start thinking about this, the guy on the table starts screaming. He's just like, you know, he's like, get me out of here, and he starts like really going for it. He's going absolutely crazy. He is freaking out, and
I want to try non-lethal. Oh God, no!
And then as soon as you sort of like hear him screaming, it starts to sort of dissipate. And what you saw on the ground starts to sort of disappear, and any sort of cracks in everything starts to go back to normal. It's like you see it within a flash, and it comes back to normal.
Did I see that where I was as well?
You're that's right. I forgot you were in the common room. Yes, you saw basically some blood sort of on the table. You see some chairs and table. I forgot you were in the common room, but yeah, you see like some of the chairs are knocked over. There's like this sort of big sculpture thing that's in there, and it's sort of like cracked, broken, but then it goes back to normal.
Can I tell what it was a sculpture of?
It's just a piece of art. It's not. There's no real sort of. You know, you're not really an art person, and it's not really. Yeah, it's sort of.
So, it's there in the when in the normal world it's there, but it's fine.
Yeah.
In the strange vision, it's cracked.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
As it's flicking over, I've still got my sword in my hand. If I flick the sword towards one of the holes, will that sort of interpose so that it looks like it's sticking through a wall as everything fades away, or does it hit the wall?
Ooh, because it's like a flash. It's sort of in your mind. It's sort of. It's trying to think. Roll me a roll me an attack with your sword. and if you get a suitably high enough of the number, then I'll. No, you sort of flick out, and it just clanks against the wall.
Okay. So I was just trying to test it. Like I was seeing something. I was like, is it? No. Okay. That's odd.
Yeah. Athesta's sort of not. Yeah, Athesta's sort of kind of looking at you all really strangely, like, what the fuck has just happened? The guy in the bed's still screaming his head off.
I want to sort of like. Is there a cloth? Is there a cloth nearby or something?
There is sort of some little bottles of like medicine and stuff by the table, by the bed, sort of on like this sort of like little trolley type thing near the bed. But do you have any sort of medical? Your survival.
Wearing a robe.
I don't. Yeah, because what I want to do is try and cover his mouth and say just.
You want to shut him up a bit.
Yeah. Okay, so because I thought the guard.
Like, part of me wants to non-lethally silence him, but the thing is, I think we can try and get more information out of him. But we have a very limited. I have common clothes. Yeah. I can use my. I can use my common clothes just sort of like. There's a wad of. It's my spare undies.
Spare as in washed, or spare as in you haven't used recently?
We'll leave it up to his imagination.
So you're trying to gag him?
Just sort of like stop the yelling and go.
Right. Okay.
Try and also at the same time reassure him, like saying, "We're here to get you out. We need you to be quiet." You've got the thing in his mouth, and he sort of looks at you, like with surprise, and he's still trying to get, out stuff from his mouth. Name and rank. Calm down, soldier. I'm gonna need your name and rank, but I need you to calm down.
He doesn't seem to sort of he looks at you and he's scared, but it's sort of like it's scared but slightly relieved at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah. He does sort of like he starts mumbling when you take the cloth away.
Take the cloth away. Just like
it's like we need to leave. We need to leave. You need to get me out of here.
What's your name?
He sort of looks at you blankly, and he's just like, and he starts shaking his head.
You don't know your name.
He started, and he's just like, it's just like, and he seems quite agitated because he's strapped down, so he can't sort of do very much. But he's like he's quite agitated, and he's looking at you sort of blankly.
Listen, you're in a jail cell. You're confined for your own measures. It says here, according to the doctors, you're talking about monsters and hollow faces and your men taken. I need you to comply with me because there is something going on here, and we aim to fix it.
And he starts getting really agitated. He's like, "We need to get out of here. We need to get out of here. I can't hear you. We need to get out of here."
Whoa. You can't. Hold on. You can't hear us?
Get some pen and paper.
He's just like, I can't hear you. I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here.
Right, get some pen and paper. Write name and rank and question mark and point to him.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. Just sort of like from the stash of paper. Just sort of like get. Yeah. Just write that out.
Okay, so you write it out, and you sort of push it in front of his face, and he's just like, "We haven't got time for this. We need to leave. We need to get out of here."
So, Matt, could I run in when the screaming started?
Yes, you can. Yeah. You're running past, and the sort of guard that you schmoozed, he's sort of popping his head around the corner, sort of looking a bit confused, a bit anxious. Why there's suddenly a lot of screaming going on in that room.
I'm sort of giving the thumbs up gesture and sort of a reassuring nod as I run past quickly.
He's right.
On,
All right, mate. All right, nice one. And he sort of goes back into his room.
Okay. This only works if he knows thieves can't.
I don't know.
Yeah. Because the way I'm rationalizing knowing thieves can't, or having an understanding of thieves can't as a soldier, is that it is basically a military cipher.
You would all know sort of battle sign and stuff like that.
Yeah. For sneaking around.
So, okay, can I incorporate that into sort of like, sort of try and incorporate that into thieves can't and go and try and
just use battle sign to.
Just sort of like carry across information, just sort of like short, relevant bursts of information of F section, company of Girk.
So you basically you basically sign to him, sort of in your battle sign. You're sort of saying like, F section, under orders by Captain Guard Captain Girk and you basically spell out to him in the sign, and he basically signs back to you. Well, he can't sign back to you because he's signed. He can't. So he's just sitting there kind of going, "We need to get out of here." And he's like, we haven't got time for all of this. We need to get out. We need to leave. It doesn't matter. Fuck your sign. I don't care. Get me out of here."
So I run in at this point, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Is that him?
Okay.
We don't know.
Right, okay, I think one last trick. Pull rank on him. Basically, he's indoctrinated. He is military. He will basically, right, we are superiors. Tell us what we need to know. And basically just like, right, soldier, do your duty.
Yeah, he sort of gets pissed off with you at this point in time. He says, "Soldier, I'm a fucking captain. I am fucking Captain Byron, and we need to get fucking out of here right now."
Time out. Just sort of like, hello. I'm going to put my back to.
And he's like, because he doesn't sort of. I don't think he recognizes you, and he's just sort of he's just like, "Soldiers, untie me now and get me out of here."
I would like to knock him out.
Turn around.
Okay, so basically, Ben comes charging in, hears that this is Captain Byron on the table. I want you to roll me, because of your trait.
Hold on, is this the same man we saw? Because we saw Captain Byron.
You saw a guy on a horse in armor leave.
Yes.
And you heard that you figured out it was Byron because of the paperwork that came with it and stuff.
Well, my thinking is that I already know that something is extremely wrong here. And if this was one of our men, I probably would say, okay, just please be quiet, let's get out of here. But as it's Byron, it's like, no, fuck this. Smack him in the jaw, get him out of here. We'll interrogate him at knife point in the friggin' forest. So that's my logic. So I'm not like my axe out and chop his head off. I'm treating him roughly.
Okay, right. Roll me an unarmed attack then, I guess.
Proficiency. I don't think I am proficient unarmed. So it's just going to be my strength bonus then, which is
strength
+2. Okay, cool. I'll just do a strength roll then. 14 to pop this lying down man in the face.
Yeah, you smack him on the head, and he's pretty sort of kind of dazed. He's sort of mouthing off, commanding you all to sort of release him, and you sort of give him another smack for good measure, and he's gone.
Okay, we need to cut his bonds off and get him the fuck out of here. I'm thinking, get him out. We can't really drag him past the desk man. Why are you looking like this? I had to knock him out.
No, I am perfectly with you. I was just sort of like, my fist is in the air, and I'm like, wow, you got them.
You're just
shot
upset that he
across
beat you
the
to
room.
it. Yeah.
So, if I drag him upstairs to the battlements, you guys wait outside, I throw him over the edge. That's a way of getting him out of here without anyone seeing.
Jesus.
All in favour, say aye.
So you're not going.
Aye.
You're literally going to bring him up the stairs, throw him over the battlements.
Absolutely.
Make a
Bear,
holy wall.
bear in mind, there probably will be guards up there.
And also, how
This
far
is a jail.
up? How far up is sort of like the top? Sort of like how big is the building?
You're basically got. It's a single story sort of. It's an M block, not the H block. It's like an M block, and it's probably about 12 feet high. But then there's like
10 feet. 10 feet of full damage. He's only going to do 1d6.
and then you've got basically the you've got sort of like the walkways and stuff like that which go over it, which would probably be another 5 feet above that.
Okay, right.
Okay. Is there anyone in the common room apart from us? That was empty, right?
The common room had a couple of guards sort of sitting there, not really paying much attention.
I want to know who's in the next room now, because this guy was behind a curtain, and we have someone in the next room.
Okay.
I want you to bear in mind that you're very mindful that your 20 minutes is going to be up very soon.
I feel as though we should maybe talk to him before we knock this fucker out. So if battlements is not an option, Kijo, can you find us a way out of here that doesn't involve walking past fucking 20 guards?
I will do my best. But
Fireball,
I
flip through the
also,
wall.
I also really think that we should sort of like talk to the person next to us as well, just to get an idea. Because
Let's send Danian in.
Yeah,
he's a good
okay.
talker.
So I'm gonna knock on. So I'm gonna take Danian, go outside, knock on the door, and go, "Hi, who are you?" Just to make sure he's not like someone who's looking after someone in there. Because if it is someone strapped down, if there's another person strapped down to the bed in there, they could potentially have as good information, or they may be.
I would like to be cutting Byron's bonds and lifting him over his shoulder to carry him out.
Okay.
You could just unstrap him.
And then if that's the,
You don't do
Wait,
things by
somebody-
halves. He doesn't care about the start. He just cuts the
Okay.
shit out of him, and he's sort of.
Okay, that's fine.
so yeah,
Okay,
going
so
Oh, so
go to the next room.
so you're carrying. So Ben, have you got him on your shoulder in the room, or are you in the corridor?
I was in the room doing it. I'm assuming it took me about the same time to start cutting and lifting as it was for them to run out and knock on
Okay.
the door. So I'm on my way out.
You're midway
Coming out.
through it. Okay, so you've knocked on the door. They're going. Yeah. Okay. So the door is locked. There is a person sitting in there. So it's up to yourselves how you want to do it. But obviously,
No, but
the guard
knock on the-
guard could sort of kind of pop his head round the corner at some point in time and go, "What's going on?"
Okay, so Captain,
so
stay in the room with the body. Don't go into the corridor because we don't want if the guard pops his head out to see you. Athesta can be on. Do you want to be on distraction duty or?
Could Athesta stay with me? Could Athesta be my point man?
Also, doesn't
Fireball, man.
Athesta have sleep?
No.
Oh, I thought you did. Oh, okay.
Nope.
No, he said fireball. That was really confusion.
Same effect, to be
He
fair.
has-
Very
he has-
similar.
I thought you used it on the 72 hit point lady.
Nope.
You did? No, somebody. No, it was Leah
A
Bell.
while ago.
Durnian has a sort of sleep thing.
Okay, no worries. Alright, fine. Well, that's plan B. So yeah, knocking on the door and just sort of like seeing how the guy inside reacts.
Yep.
He sort of kind of the guy. You knock on the door and he sort of looks up and he sort of walks slowly towards the basically like the viewing portal of the room.
Hello, we're inspectors. Just mind telling us who you are?
So you sort of pull like the little latch thing aside so you can talk to him, and he says, "I'm I can't even think of a name for this guy. My name's Steve Jobs, and my name's Steve Jobs.
Nice to meet you, Steve. Good name. Glad to know your name. It's always good when you...
This is my name's Steve, and he just seems a bit sort of he's depressed, and he's just sort of a bit
Is he eating an apple or something?
Say it again.
Is he eating an apple? No, just an apple.
He does have a sort of rectangular thing in his hand. He's got a black polo neck.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Right, skip, move on. Okay.
What are you in for? Just sort of like, as if this is just sort of like trying to push him away.
Yeah. He's just like, I don't know. They found some women's clothes in my house, and I don't know why they're there. And I woke up and I found stuff in my house that wasn't mine, and I don't know if I've if I've done something. So I came here to sort of turn myself in. I've obviously something has obviously happened, and I don't know what.
Good on you. Keep up the public service. Click. Right, we've got to get out of here. Time's running out. We've got to get try the end corridor. See what that looks like.
So have I emerged from the door by this point?
You are by the door.
I'm gonna say, I've got another idea, lads. What if I go up the stairs and just fucking jump off?
No, just don't worry about it. I'll just blast this door open.
Are you going to blast a door open in the middle of a jail?
Think about it.
Well,
just immediately hands away from the pocket, so it's like, no.
Well, you get opening the door then. Go on.
Okay, so
I'm serious.
I've got the sofa. I've got the iguana.
No, hold on. No, I'm serious. I could go up those steps, make sure there was no one looking at me, and just nip off the edge. The entrance is probably going to be right next to the edge of the wall. I could just
Let's
nip
try
off
the door.
with this lad. Let's try the fireball first. Hey, that sounds like plan A to me.
Try
Jesus
the door.
Christ.
Try the door.
Which door?
The door at the end of this corridor.
Thieves' tools. Again, you try and open the door. You open the door, but you make a lot of noise. And the guard sort of kind of peers his head around the corner again and says,
Oh fuck.
All right, boys. Who the fuck
QA
is
inspection.
that? And who the fuck is that? And who the fuck are you? Because he's sort of like, he sees the dwarf carrying one of the inmates over his shoulder. He's just like, it's just like, what the hell are you doing? And he starts raising his voice.
We've upgraded the check.
Fucking cheese it, lads. Let's go. We're made. Let's fucking get out there.
Right.
There's no explaining this. I run to this door here. I'm doing the plan.
Right, so the door's locked, so you need to
kick it the shit down then.
This one. What's in this one? Just so, like.
Are you literally making a jailbreak?
The hell, now we are.
You're not trying to persuade your way out.
Oh yeah, I'm just expecting this dude.
All right, so where are you going? Where are you going?
Well,
change your plan, like it.
They're over there by this door, looking into it. I'm just like, this is the most obvious, clear exit. I'm gonna go for that. Run, kick.
All right. The guard and a couple of other guards are. So he comes out the door. I'm trying to think whereabouts you guys are. I'm not going to drag your things in there. So what I'll do is, you are. So Ben, you've come out, and you're basically there. You are going to be. And then the rest of you are sort of there, sort of in this corridor. I'm just going to
hold on. Wasn't the guard alerted to Kijo trying to open this door?
Yes. You're right. You are right. Clear drawings, clear. Right.
I'd like to see what's in there.
So basically, you're all here in this little sort of box thing here. The guard is here. A few more guards sort of come through the door here, and they sort of So you're through here. You've opened that door. Oh shit! I want reveal area. You see this area. So there's basically a door right in front of you. There's a door to the left. I'm going to say by the time you get there to try and open it, they're going to be on you. So
I'm pegging it, having a look at what's in this room, but aiming to open that room.
So
we need a distraction.
You've got 3 doors there. You've got one on your right, one in front of you, and one to your left.
I've got an idea. Minor illusion. Smoke. Basically create an illusion of so much smoke.
Okay.
Basically as if there's a massive blazing inferno. And just yell, fire!
Nice.
Right, okay.
Bear in mind, minor illusion is a cantrip, so I don't know if you can create a sound.
There's also
to a scream.
I've also got a silent image.
Silent image?
Silent image. Create the image of an object, a creature, blah, blah, blah.
What about a wall? A wall's pretty silent.
No, but that could be easily disbelieved. It's just a wall.
It would slow them down.
But if there was image of smoke billowing out from underneath the doorways coming up, and I'm yelling, fire!
Okay.
There's a fire!
All right. Okay. So roll me. So you cast the cantrip and you cast sort of like smoke, bellowing out of one of the rooms. I want you to roll me persuasion.
And could the rogue do that, please?
Well, you're the one who's shouting. I'll give you advantage on it because you're sort of.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Yep. Okay. You suitably, your sort of illusion of there being a fire in the room, and you scream at the top of your head, fire. They sort of think it's like, that's why this guy's got something coming over he's over his shoulder, trying to save him from a fire. He says, "Boys, this way!" And the guards sort of the guards sort of beckon you towards them to go out.
Let's go this way, guys.
To go out the way you came, basically.
Come on, let's go. Go. Get out of here before the building is completely
So you basically all run out into the main yard to your fire assembly point.
Yeah, and we just keep running.
It's just like, can you roll me perception when you get in? Roll me perception. You all go through this room. Roll me perception, please.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm too busy going, how did that work?
Okay.
How did that work?
21.
Ben, you notice that your dwarf friend isn't there. So you run past, and you know that the time's been up, and you know you haven't walked past him. And you know that he wasn't in the common room when he entered, but he's not in the room. The death sergeant isn't there. So you basically all run out into this courtyard. Everybody's out of breath. He's like, one of the guards says, we thought you were trying to sort of make a jailbreak. Didn't realize you were trying to save one of the prisoners.
We do that?
One of the prisoners and stuff. And they're sort of out of breath and like, whew, wow, yeah.
I'm probably not out of breath. I could just keep running.
Yep. Okay. So they're out of breath. So do you just want to keep on going? You don't want to talk to them anything?
Yeah. I'm gonna pretend. Oh no, I'm still afraid of the fire. We just get clear of this. Fire. We get clear. Let's get clear. Keep going. Let's make sure we're away from. I'm very scared of fire. Let's just keep on going.
You're right.
Okay.
And I'm really sorry. I had a bad experience with a house fire. Lost some friends. We'll have to calm him down a little bit now. We'll be back in a moment. Really sorry about this.
They are slightly distracted by the whole thing, but they do notice that you're carrying off one of the prisoners across the thing. So you can, but bear in mind, there's also a guard at the gate, which you'll have to get through.
Psh, catch me, bitch!
But the gate's closed. You're in a jail. They don't just leave things open for people to run through.
Okay. So
Okay, I'll just shout, "Open the gates! Open the gates!"
Roll persuasion.
Oh shit! Is
You
anyone
know-
else saying it as well?
Injured
Yeah,
man coming
I'm
through.
joining.
Injured man coming through.
Yeah. Okay. Mark's very persuasive.
Oh, with advantage. 20, natural 20 with advantage.
Yeah. Okay. So you basically the guard's sort of like, oh, okay. So he starts fumbling with the gate keys and stuff, and he's fumbling, and he basically opens up before, like, literally you are out. Ben is miles in front of everybody with this guy on his shoulder. The other guards haven't even got time to sort of question you about anything. They literally just go. And then you run out, and that's it. So you're out into the main street. Let me just move you on to the main map again. There.
I'm heading to the forest.
Let me just.
Okay, follow me.
It's like, I guess we're doing this then.
Now we walk.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you are
Forest.
back in. Oh.
Heading
You-
to the woods.
So you've basically run out these gates here, where effectively where the well is, so
Arrowhead Wood.
and you're going towards the Arrowhead Woods, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arrowhead Wood.
Just making a beeline for the woods there.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Walk this time.
you run.
No, we're keeping a healthy jog. Fuck.
I'm running flat out. I'm
Military pace. Military pace.
Military face.
Yeah, I think I can match pace with you because, like, if it's sort of like doing round stuff, then I can dash, use my movement, bonus action dash, and bonus action dash, can't I? So it's like moving 90.
Okay, so you run. It takes you another sort of 10, 15 minutes to get down there as well. It's sort of like late afternoon by now after all the sort of faffing around. It's summer, so it is still sort of light, so it's not a massive issue. And you get to the edge of the wood. The wood is sort of, it's a bit weird. They call it the Arrowhead Wood, but you can see lots of big rocky outcrops within it. There's lots of trees around, said rocky outcrops, but it's quite a dense wood.
Are we being followed?
You look behind you and you don't see anybody else.
I dumped this guy next to a tree and I tie him to the tree. What way? I'm quite a ways in. Quite a way. I moved quite a way into the forest so no one could see me from the outside. Next to a tree, tie him to a tree, and then I'm going to throw some water in his face.
Nice. Right, okay.
Well,
So you throw some water in his face, and he says like, "Oh, it's like, you struck a superior officer. How dare you? How dare you? What the?"
I slap him around the face. You are a deserter. You are leading an army of deserters. Give me one good reason why I shouldn't kill you where you sit.
It's like, who the fuck are you to talk to me like that, boy?
I am Corporal Firehead Steelguard of F Company.
Sulfur.
It's like, and he sort of looks at you. Roll me intimidation.
Oh, that's my jam.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my
he's,
god, this is the one thing I'm good at. I always fuck up.
he's just like, it's like, I've fucking killed dwarves like you for breakfast. He's just like, he's just sort of, he's not impressed. He's just like, he says, why are we in this wood? Why the fuck are we still in this fucking town?
Someone needs to hold me back, otherwise I'm going to kill him.
I'm going to sort of like put my hand on your shoulder and just go, I can't hold him
I just
back."
realised he couldn't hear you, by the way, when you said that to him because he's deaf. So that didn't really matter. You're sort of shouting at him, and he's just
Yeah,
ranting.
that's-
He's just ranting back.
So
I don't know he's deaf. No
Yeah,
one's told me he's
yeah,
deaf.
so
I think he's just a knobhead.
Yeah, I think he's just shouting at him. He says the
Hold me
same.
back, lads.
He says the same thing as well. So he's just pissing you off.
Okay, I've got a dancing sword, which in theory I can direct to move and attack. Can I direct it to embed itself next to him in the tree to try and shut him the fuck up?
Don't miss.
Yeah, you can. If you miss, then I will. There is potential for it to hit him.
We'll just leave it as sort of like I don't know. Do you want to start scuffing like just above and slowly moving your way down? It's just sort of like.
Well, I just want to have it fly across and hit the tree near him, just to shock him. Because at the moment,
It'll have to be near enough to him that it sort of intimidates him. Because if it's just another tree, he's not going to be that bothered, is he?
yeah.
Okay.
So I'll aim for the tree above him.
Yeah.
Just to try it.
I can
This
see
is
this
where
going
I'm-
very wrong.
This is
Oh,
not
God.
what I would advise. This is where a natural one comes along.
Go on, roll it.
Well, it's okay. I get a +1 because of the whole bardic thing.
All right, wow, yeah.
Wow.
You throw your singing sword, and it literally goes right above his head, right into the tree, and he looks very shocked, and he's just like, he sort of zones back, and he's just like, he starts panting, and he starts sort of, he sort of cries a bit. He's getting really sort of upset.
I'm going to pull out because he's told me. Well, he's told everyone but the dwarf that he can't hear, that he can't like see our faces. So I'm going to pull out the orders.
I want you to roll me initiative, by the way, because you're all Ben's getting pissed off, and I want
I
to see
told
who's.
you to hold me back.
Yeah,
No one's hold me back.
I want
I'm
you. I
holding
want.
you back.
I want you to do one. I want you to do this. I want you to roll initiative first. Key juice first. Festa. Ben, what did you get?
Let me just get my initiative to roll 8.
Okay. So you're last. Okay. So I will give I will give all three of you a chance to restrain Steelguard.
This is the captain of the deserters.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah, so you've basically, I want you to sort of, I want strength tests. I'll give you advantage. Okay.
Wow. Critical.
What's your strength, Ben?
My strength is only 15. It's not massive.
Okay.
Only-
It's slow story,
No.
then.
Okay,
I'm 8.
Would slow work?
so
Well, a natural 20 probably would do pretty well, I think.
so roll your strength against him then. See if you.
Oh yeah, I might get the same. Could it be athletics to sort of like stop them getting me?
No, because he's they're literally trying to restrain you, so it'll be a strength.
Maybe like the grapple situation.
Yeah. See, you're so tired after carrying him and the whole exertion that
Sit on him.
yeah, jumps on you and sits on you.
I've got the doctor's notes in my hand, and I'm sort of. I'm gonna first show Sergeant Farr the orders that we've got, and point at F section and us. Then I'm going to point at the patient's note and point at monsters and sort of like mime, you talk. Then I'm going to pull out the broken dagger as if to say, or else.
Right, so you're trying to get him to talk, and he's just. So what do you said to him? Sorry.
Pointed to the orders at F section to say who we are, and pointed to us. Pointed to the doctor's notes to the monsters and say, as if to say, tell us about that. And then pulling out the broken knife as the memento to go, or else. Also, it's probably one of the traitors' broken knives.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
like that's the memento thing.
Okay. So he's sort of like we're all going to die, and we're all going to die. It's all my fault, and he's just like, I've met yous before. I've met yous before. It took one of your comrades. It took him.
What?
I point at the notes of the orders that says mention Sergeant Farr.
He's sort of. He sort of says, I don't know. All I know.
Moving between Trowel and Sergeant Farr.
Oh no, I don't. No, I think. No, do you know what? Because he's. I think he does. I think he does know him. He's just like, yes, far. It took far. It took far, and it, and he starts kind of mumbling about Far's brother.
Okay. Basically, grab some pen and paper from my pack and what took and hold it to the Byron.
The serpent, it's he's stumbling around trying to describe what it is, and he's just like it's like a hollow face, dark, with big
hollow face serpent.
It's sort of like a human, but with stretched skin and dark eyes and big teeth. It killed my men. It killed. And if it wasn't for the bear, it would have killed me too.
Okay.
Okay, right, Matt. Given my knowledge of Arcane and the Arcane and history, could I do I have an experience or knowledge of such a creature?
You roll me a history check.
Sure.
Could I roll a nature check?
You can roll a nature check.
17.
And what do you check? What are you sort of basing your nature? What are you looking for?
Oh, come on.
So it's just sort of like this is my reasoning was that this is a monster and part of the natural world. As part of my role as a scout, I would have had to have known not only
it's nothing you have seen,
but unnatural as well.
Other than maybe like it sounds like a hydra kind of, but you're not sort of sure. It could be a lot. It could be a giant snake. It could be one of the many serpentine creatures that you've encountered. Athesta, you're not sure, and you sort of agree with him.
Belgians.
Okay. Okay. He mentioned it was his fault. Just sort of like yeah.
Why your fault?
He's just like he's getting a bit more sort of agitated, and he's just like he's just about to say something. Before that happens, I want you to roll me perception. Ollie is.
Oh, 20. 20 on both. Nice.
Yeah.
Ouch. Okay, I'm a bit preoccupied with sitting on someone.
17.
Yep.
Also 17.
Pretty much everybody, bar Denarian, Darnian, sorry. They sort of they hear a noise in the brush. They hear sort of a crack, and you hear this massive roar as a huge bear basically jumps out of the undergrowth and seems to be sort of like slathering and looking straight at Captain Byron's.
Get off me, agent!
Okay, yeah, take care of that. We need to take care of that.
Axe out, off the ground.
Bow and taking a
I've been looking forward to this.
Right.
Throwing myself into snake.
Right. So this bear, it doesn't attack straight away. It's just making a lot of noise and sort of growling and sort of it sees that you're sort of. It doesn't seem to be focused on you. It's focused on Byron's.
Okay.
And it's sort of crawling around. It's getting really angry.
I must have noticed that Byron is deaf. By the way that Athesta is writing and showing him things. I'll say to Athesta, ask him why we shouldn't just leave him here for the bear.
So you write that down and you show it to him. It's just like the bear. It killed my man as well. He's a fucking psychopath. And he's sort of like getting really sort of really agitated, but he sort of refers to it as a he.
Okay, so I'm going to call back my sword.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's kill this damn bear.
No, knock it out. Aimed non-lethal, because
Fireball.
We'll see what happens.
I can't say it. I'm in stealth.
All right, I'm going to give you a hint here. Do any of you have anything that might be able to talk to animals?
Nope.
No, that's druid stuff.
No, there's some of you may.
It's definitely not me.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm a rogue. That sounds magical.
I'm sure somebody has something along those lines.
You sure it's not?
Uh,
You sure it's
I've
not
seen-
Alda?
well, you're
seen
a
this
scout. You sure you don't have sort of?
I don't have talk to animals or anything like that.
Let me just check your
Yeah, please.
your things here, because
Use animal handling. Try and calm it.
I got a -1.
Me too.
Let me just see here.
Trophy.
I'm gonna do a score shot. Let me just check here. That's not.
Oh
Uh,
my. Boo.
I was. One minute. Let me just see. A thest. Durnian, maybe? Durnian? Against retro. Dark Vision, Military Rank, Jack of all trades, Song of the Rest. Let's see your little spells here. What you've got?
This is like the DM being no. Combat is not
Thing
always
is, the thing is, I could let you kill him, but it sort of takes away.
Oh, he does. Dirdian does have Speak of Animals.
Yeah.
As a
See, I've
level
got-
4 spell. Level 1 spell, sorry.
Yes.
Actually, yeah. Sorry, I didn't notice that.
So much. Yeah. Well, I'll. Yeah. I'm not gonna. I was like, could I? You know, this could. Yeah. Okay. You could still feel it, and he might attack you anyway. But you know, at least you've sort of. You have a spell to try and talk to animals. I think somebody else has something along those lines as well. Possibly, there's somebody has something that you can talk to animals. But yeah.
Does it look as though the bear's trying to talk to us?
It's getting It's not. It's not charging you, but you can tell it's focused and angry and looking at Byron.
So it's not acting like a normal bear. It's acting weird. But I'm still ready, battle axe in hand. Like I'm gonna fucking kill me a bear today. Ooh,
non-lethal.
Um,
Choose non-lethal.
Right, Athesta, Tamble, animal handling. You try to throw a rope around its neck, and it just fucking just.
I was going to give it some food.
Yeah.
Captain Byron.
Yeah. So do you want to roll? Speak with animals. You cast that then, yeah.
Yeah, you just do it.
You get the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts for the duration. Awareness of many beasts is limited to their intelligence. Okay, so what do you want to start? What do you want to say to the bear?
I want to get him to calm down, and if I can speak to him. Can he speak back? Can I understand him?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So how about if I just go with asking what he wants with the captain?
It's like, he's a traitor. He killed many good men.
Okay, so
What did
The
he say,
bear is on
Daniel?
our side.
What did he say, Daniel? Come on, tell me what he said.
It's kind of like it's kind of like like Baxter in the bear pit of Anchorman. So he's just like.
Why would the bear care about Byron killing his own men? Why would
We
the
don't
bear
know
be
that
so-
yet. He hasn't said
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah,
that's
sorry.
the thing.
No,
So my next question is going to be, why do you care?
It's just like, I am Aldar Starbreeze. I am Druid of the Whispering North, and it is my job to care about this.
Okay, that was the other one.
Yay! Shapeshifted druid, awesome. Okay,
Okay.
so
Does that name ring a bell with any of us?
No, you don't know who that is.
Well, has Danian conveyed this information to us?
Have you? You have now. Okay, yeah. So he basically he says
he's a druid.
He's a druid.
He's a druid.
Yeah.
Put the axe away. Fuck the druids.
He's here because the same reason we're here. He thinks that he's come for him because of people he killed.
Well, can you... Just a voice from the pushes. Can you please tell him to just sort of like let us interrogate him first?
It seems like when you're talking to him, you sort of in bear speak or whatever it is, you can tell that he seems to be more bestial than usually. Usually if you were talking to him, you would be talking to the druid because it's the druid in it. But it's sort of like he seems to be competing with his basically familial side.
He's been too long as a bear.
Yeah, basically you sort of guess that he's potentially been as a bear for too long, so he's sort of that's why he's still a bear.
Ask him to turn back.
And he's like, do you not think I have tried to turn back? And he's just like, I have tried.
How come? This is a very interesting mystical problem.
Arcana?
Yes, I'm looking. I'm suddenly Estella is getting very interested in this. So I start walking around and just giving my knowledge. You're like, okay, this is very interesting. Really, how did this happen? Does my knowledge of arcane?
Okay, do you want to roll Arcana then?
Yes, please. Oh, come on.
You sort of
try something a bit wild?
You walk around and you sort of kind of go, he should be able to change out of being a bear. And you're just sort of like, it just, he should be able to change.
Druids, amateurs.
So I've got charm person as well. Would that be maybe because it makes them friendly towards us?
Yeah.
Might that be a way to calm him down enough that he might be able to change back?
You can try it.
Read the whole thing because is it with charm person that he becomes immediately hostile at the end?
He won't appreciate it.
When the spell ends, the creature knows it was charmed by you. It lasts for an hour. If nothing else, it gives us plenty of time to run.
Oh,
yeah,
friends,
he's
that's
still a
it.
bear.
Up to you.
I'm just thinking he can't seem to change back because part of that seems to be the rage and the anger.
Well,
so
he already seems fairly friendly to us.
I'm just trying to think of a way that we can calm him down.
Well, he'll be friendly to us still, but he'll still be angry at the captain.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of ways to do things.
Now, Captain Byron is saying that the bear killed his own men, but also the bear is saying Captain Byron killed his own men.
No,
I think the bear's saying that Captain Byron is responsible for the deaths of many soldiers.
Well, Captain Byron said the bear was responsible
for killing his men.
But that might be the same people.
He's been killing traitors.
Right.
The bear has been killing traitors who are our soldiers but turned turncoats.
Yeah. Because you're forgetting that Byron's been apparently gone rogue and has been attacking people. So, in theory, Byron and his people killed the people that the druid was with. The druid came after Byron and took out his men, and Byron managed to escape.
Okay.
What are you? So you all basically looking at this bear, then trying to persuade him? Are you going to use the charm on him or not?
I don't think so. No.
I'm standing next to Byron, saying, "Captain Byron, you have been found guilty of corruption."
Immediately,
okay. I want you. As soon as he starts talking, I want you to roll initiative, please.
I'm just bored of this bear thing. It's like, oh, he's a druid. Never mind. That's okay. Axe out.
Okay. So initiative. Kiji's got a 6. Roll initiative, please. Mark's got a 5.
God, one of these days I'm gonna.
Thessa's got a 21. Oh,
Yes,
yes.
come on. I'm I'm just chatting. I'm getting into my stride, really going into it, listing out his crimes and the people he's killed. It's really.
I need to roll for
Roll for bear.
For the bear as well.
Which is a roll that happens in Honey Heist.
So the initiative. Okay, so it basically goes Athesta, then the bear, then you guys. So,
Fireball.
Athesta, what are you doing? You trying to restrain Ben, or are you going to attack the bear? Or what are you doing?
I'm in no rush. No rush.
No. I'm going to hold my action and basically just try and I want to keep everyone alive because we need answers more than we need bodies, to be fair.
Right, so how are you just standing there? You're not doing anything?
I'm basically standing in front of
Byron is basically
I'm standing in front of Captain Byron with some guano and some sulfur.
So you've moved yourself in between Byron and Steelguard.
We need answers, not bodies.
Okay, yeah.
We need to find out what is going on here. Bodies will not give us the answer. Answers will. And we need to sit down, get this sorted, and find out what the F is going on. Is that understood?
Okay.
Well, he's a bear. With him, so probably not.
Kiju, what are you going to do next?
I've heard this spiel before.
Yes.
Right before a certain traitor lost his head. So I'm going to try just to come out of the bushes and tackle just like a fly.
Okay, yeah. Roll strength with initiative. I'll also give you a couple of extra points on that because you've got him off surprise as well.
Okay, so that's saving throw. How do you do just a bog standard?
Just press strength. I think it'll just roll it, won't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
12.
12. What's your strength, Ben?
Should I roll it?
Yeah, roll it. Yeah. 11. Okay. Yeah. You get him off. You basically come flying out of the go. I've heard this before. And you sort of kind of grab him, tackle him round the ground and stuff. The dwarf is very unimpressed that his quarry has been taken from him once again.
And that my men have dared to attack me.
Yeah. So he's just like, I'm gonna have you on a fucking charge. He's so annoyed.
Stand between me and justice.
Yeah.
More about the Hydra, or what? Is it a Hydra? Let's just call it the false Hydra. I don't know what do we want to call it? Serpent
entity.
I should have been actually the bear next, but the bear basically sees that you're trying to stop him doing it, so he sort of advances forward and sort of like rises up and Mark, you hear he's like, "No, if this man is to die, it is by my hand."
Oh, good God. Question. What action were you holding?
And what was the trigger?
Fireball.
Jesus Christ.
So you were going to check.
What was the trigger for your action?
I did set a trigger.
Oh, you need to when you hold action.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll just say, for the sake of not killing the bear or having a bear massacre.
All of us. He's killing all of us.
It's not attack. It's just run up, and it's literally advancing.
Estella will just stand his ground,
and he's just the bear sort of.
I'm just basically going to lock him in the eye.
Growls, and it goes down to Ben's to Steelguard's face and lets out this mighty roar, like slathering sort of thing, and there's like yeah, it's just sort of like. It sort of growls, and you're like, "What the fuck?" And Dernian turns around and says, he says that if the only person who can kill this man is him, which obviously is contrary to your belief because you believe that anybody who should kill him is you. So yeah.
I have a line of thought about druids. I don't know how my character would know this, but if I am familiar with druids, would knocking them unconscious break them out of animal form?
It could do, I guess. Basically, whatever's got a hold of him, he needs to not sort of, whatever's, there's something stopping him from getting. So yes, I guess knocking him out could do that. There's other things that could potentially do it as well, but it's up to yourselves.
Because I kind of think I would be aware of sort of like with the mage in our midst about concentration and the idea that if his concentration is broken or if he goes down, something that he's concentrating on stops. I would imagine that their animal form or wild shape would act kind of similar. I that's my logic in it from my awareness of magic from considering the mage we've got.
So right, basically you've all had your turns. Tharid, you're next. Oh, actually no, you're not. Sorry, I forgot about you. Mark. Yeah, so you're next. You're next.
Yeah.
So
I think I'm gonna have to go for the nuclear option, the slightly less nuclear option, and I'm gonna try and roll sleep. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Who's your target?
Who's got the lowest hit points? Because it's not specifically aimed at. Yeah, here's the thing. It's sort of like it don't care who it hits.
Yeah.
Friend or foe.
And you're all in a group. You're all in a group around yourselves. Okay.
It's it's anyone within a point 20 feet away. Yeah.
You're all in a group around each other. So.
Okay. So there's no way I can pick a point that. Okay.
It's not gonna be me or the bear. Just gonna put that there.
Basically, you've got to make a decision because Ben is going to try and kill him before the bear does, and it could end.
I'll try and kill the bear first.
At the moment. So.
Okay.
Ben would have to use his action to try and break free, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is getting a bit stressful.
Yes.
I'm
making this up, by the way. This is all been ad-libbed at this moment in time.
It's fun.
We non-lethally kick the shit out of the bear.
Right, screw it. I'm going to try this.
What's this?
True strike.
Amazing. Who's the target?
The bear.
Oh, good man.
Oh wow.
So you're doing that for your action, yes?
Yep.
Okay. You don't get multiple actions or anything.
No, that's the thing about True Strike. It's like you set yourself up for the next round.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so it's now Ben then.
Okay. I'm going to break out of this feeble rogue's grip.
No, please don't.
Okay, strength.
Well, normally in this situation it would be an opposed athletics or acrobatics check.
Okay.
To grapple, but if you want to do strength, opposed strength test, it's going to be pretty similar.
Athletics is good. He says, hopefully.
Yeah, athletics. I get a something.
Nothing at the moment.
Should I press it again, just in case?
Oh.
24.
Uh-oh.
Oof, looking bad.
Yeah, no, there's no way in hell I'm eating that. Yeah, no.
No.
Can I throw him off and stand up?
Yeah, you throw him off and you stand up. You're raging and you're literally face to face with this bear.
Oh man, I've killed bigger.
You're face to face with this bear.
Please tell me that Daniel didn't just get hit, didn't just land on the captain.
No.
I landed on the bear.
On that mark, the where is it? Sorry. The silence comes back again. You're all arguing and getting worked up, and the silence sort of kicks in again from all of yous. The roar from the bear seems to sort of start to subside slightly, as in it feels like it starts becoming slightly more human. I want you all to roll perception as well.
21.
21.
Okay. Tharid and Kiju, you're sort of like Mark, Durnian and Athesta, you are you're sort of more focused on the fact that there's a fucking bear in front of you. Tharid, despite sort of the fact that you're a bear, you're a warrior, so you're king, and you sort of glance around you and you see Byron sort of standing up and starting to sort of walk into the forest. You also notice you also notice sort of like this sort of, it's sort of weird. You see this sort of like through the trees, you see this glimpse of this very long neck.
I freak out.
You see this effectively the same thing, Kiju, as well. You see effectively, it's like, because there's trees everywhere, but you see sort of towards like this rocky outcrop, you see, Byron is sort of walking in this direction, is going towards this, and you see this sort of like grey, a slightly, not translucent, but slightly translucent, sort of long sort of neck, sort of peeking. You see it sort of peeking through the forest.
Okay. What in his name is that?
Whatever it is, that is exactly what Byron was talking about. Think we need to take it out.
Right. So are you, basically you see he's walking away from you is what he's doing.
Going for this creature.
Yeah.
The creature. Yeah. I mean,
I'm assuming he's walking towards the creature.
Right, step back.
Immediately just go, focus fire on something over there. Follow our lead.
Right. As soon as you literally, you all basically, you shout out to everybody and you sort of look around. The other two are sort of like shrugging and not sure. They can see that Byron's walking away, but they're not sort of seeing anything else. Ben and Daniel, you basically sort of turn around and start making a beeline towards where Byron's going, and then suddenly everything starts to, what you saw in the trees isn't there anymore. It just sort of disappears.
I shout to Kijo, the mirror. Give me the mirror.
Mirror, pass it over.
I wipe it on my cloth to clean it off the crap on it, and I try and use the mirror to see if I can see anything like the reflection of the forest, where the creature was, like where Byron is walking.
Okay, roll me perception.
Oh my god!
Can I be giving advantage here by saying there? Point it in that direction. It was there. It was.
No, because you both know where it was, so he kind of knows in the direction it was coming from. You both see it, but it's like you.
Well, if I'm pointing in the wrong direction, if I'm sort of like, if I've fucked it up and I'm.
It wasn't. No. You sort of. You get the mirror out and you sort of look and you notice nothing. You just see the trees in the mirror.
Okay, just throw it back to Kijo. Useless case.
No, it's all right. Worth a shot anyway.
Byron is sort of like is really sort of just like he was trying to escape. So it's up to you. He's still trying to escape. So it's up to you.
How far away from me is this?
He's sort of. He's not that far away from you, because you've picked up on him pretty quickly. So I would say he's probably about 10 feet away from you.
I would say that.
And he's sort of like he has slipped his bonds slightly, but he's still got his wrists sort of tied, and he's sort of kind of trying to run. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Just grab the rope.
Right. So you grab the rope and you yank him, and he basically falls back down, and he's just like, "Did you see? You saw it. You saw it." He starts pointing at you two, and he's like, "You saw it."
Yeah.
And he's just like, "You," and he says, "We need to leave now." You two are of a view that you saw something, but you're not 100% sure. Your brain's starting to conflict with you now, because you're like. It's like a dream that it's like sleepwalking. It was so real at the moment, but at this time you're trying to argue with yourself, did I see that?
Given that Tharad went for the rope during that time, could I go for the my notepad to write down as much information about what I saw as possible, whilst my mind is resetting?
And based on the fact that the guy Byron is talking about it,
yeah,
enforces it.
Sorry, yeah, I would say enforces it. So yeah, roll me. What would be dexterity? I don't know.
To draw, or like a memory thing.
Yeah, a memory thing. Wisdom. Yeah, roll me a wisdom check then.
Really?
Sorry, dude. Pretty sure it's dexterity, actually. Yeah.
So
well, I was just saying because he's fumbling for pen and paper and stuff like that. But then yeah, right. Sorry.
Which one would it be? Sorry.
Wisdom.
Wisdom. You sure it's not intelligence in sort of like?
What's?
Because wisdom's animal handling, insight, medicine, and perception.
Yeah, because you're trying to remember things. So I would say yeah.
Whilst history is basic. History and arcana are basically sort of those are history based.
Like recall.
Yeah, so they're based on intelligence.
Okay, all right then.
That makes sense.
Yep, yeah, I'll buy into that. Yep, all right.
17.
Yep. Okay. So you basically, while he's grabbing the rope, you're just like, your first thing is, I need to fucking record this, because you've been banging on about recording everything from the start. So you get out your pen and you're sort of and you start you're sort of like your sort of military pencil, and you start writing this down. You sort of mention sort of long neck. You notice the fact that the bear. Actually, you're not going to find about that. Mark might mention that to you later, but we'll talk about that afterwards. Sort of long neck. That suddenly, there was a silence. There was suddenly a silence, and then it all disappeared.
Sorry. Yeah. No worries. Okay. Yeah. By the way, that's a flat 17. There's no modifiers on that. I was just like, oh my god.
Mark mentions to you, obviously, while you're there, that he's just like, you realize that the bear at that moment seemed slightly more human than he has been, but he's gone back to what it was.
Has he changed his behaviour now because the captain's wandered off?
He's just like, and as the bear, he's just like, I see the beast, I see the serpent, I see all, and he's sort of like getting very angry, and he's still certain he's got himself back to focusing on Byron again.
Given the new information we have, is it possible to make a knowledge roll on what this creature could be?
Sorry, Barth, 1 minute. All right, you're gonna have to wrap up soon, Mark.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. No probs. Well, we'll get this bit over and done with, and then we can sort of put it to an end. What were you saying there? Sorry, Pete.
Basically, with this new information we have, is it possible to make a knowledge roll based on Estella's knowledge of history and magic? We've actually had a glimpse of it now.
You haven't had a glimpse of it, but Keijo has drawn, but he's drawn sort of like a neck. And you've seen a neck, and you sort of mentioned the silence and things like that.
Yeah. Does that trigger anything?
Roll me a history check.
That's really Beth, thank you.
26, nice. You sort of think back, and you look at the drawing, and you sort of meant the silence and stuff, and you're sort of, you've heard tales of it's basically an old wives' tale, that you sort of, it's in the back of your head, but you can't really put your fingers on it. But you know that there is there has been a story told about it. You would need, you're thinking to yourself, I'd need to go to a library though to sort of kind of check out where more about it. But it does ring a bell with you.
Oh, and there's a library.
Okay, so
So we have a bear and a captive as part of a party now, and our next job is to go to the
library. Well, yeah. So the bear is still dead set on killing Byrons, and so is Ben. So
Really am.
yeah. So both these that situation basically needs to be wrapped up.
My axe is to his neck. I'm like, do we still need this fucker alive?
Alive, please.
yes.
He's the captain of a traitorous band of
We
deserters.
need information more than we need bodies.
We've got information. We've got a drawing of whatever this.
We
We
don't.
need more information.
Yeah.
So what's the plan, Athesta? We'll just leave him in the woods here. Time to a tree for this bear to kill him. There's
No,
no way.
We return him back to the town militia
We've
as an
seen
escape
how
prisoner.
easy it is to take him out of there. I mean, I'm sure if we go past our friend at the desk and the gate,
Return his lost property.
yeah.
Just drop him off at the gate and knock, and then run.
Throw him to the ground in frustration.
Yeah. You do okay. Ooh. I think you are going to have to persuade Ben not to kill him because he's sort of quite riled up. He doesn't see it. He's giving you all the information you've got that you need.
No, we need more. And he
yeah.
needs to stand trial for justice before the king.
Yeah.
Not before.
No,
More
this is military justice. This is military
Yes.
justice. This is field justice.
He is a
He's an
captain.
enemy.
Therefore,
An enemy
he's a
combatant.
captain. Therefore, he needs to stand trial before his lord, not before us. Before his lord. That is how the rule of command operates, and you need to respect that as a soldier.
How dare you lecture me about what I should know, reporter? This man has no lord. This man gave up all loyalty when he turned his back on the empire.
We
I love
are
this.
better than that. We are soldiers and we obey the law, rule of law, and therefore we need to demonstrate that we are better than him by sending him back to his lord to meet summary justice.
He broke his oath. He needs to answer for that.
Aye, and he
We
will
are
right now.
Before
No. Because we're not in the right position to do that. If he was fighting us, that's one thing. But we have him in a disabled position. He needs to answer to that next higher power up so that he can be seen to have been held to account and punished.
He basically, he's sitting there. He sort of can't hear you and stuff, but he's sort of weeping and just sort of, it's not very captainly. He's just become this sort of
Yes.
I think that I would understand that there could be more damage done to the deserters if an example is made out of this man in front of everybody.
Okay.
Just killing him here in the forest.
Okay. So, are you going to talk to the bear anymore? Are you going to do how you want to do it?
So
but
You've got other so basically
It's up to you, Daniel.
you've had your argument. You can roll because it's been a break. You can roll for initiative again, as it's a different sort of effectively a new combat, and then we'll see where we're going from there. Then so Athesta is 14. 12,
Why do I
Kijo's
get 18?
Thirds literally just he's too busy. Right, okay, so Kiju, what are you on the bear? Oh, sorry, I forgot about the bear as well. Forgot about the bear.
this way was 20.
Okay, let me just roll his initiative, and he gets a 12.
Ooh.
Okay, so Kiju, Daniel, what do you want to say or do, or what's your next action?
I'm going to use my action to turn around and smack Byron with the butt of my sword to non-lethally knock him out.
Okay. Do you want to roll your? What is that? Is that going to be? Is it counted as unarmed? Or are you going to use your weapon?
It's still using the sword, but it is essentially using the butt. So it's using the sword. Just bang.
Okay.
As he's restrained with advantage as well.
Yeah. Okay. Roll that then.
15 either way.
Yeah. Okay. So you club him around the head. You knock him out. He just gets clubbed
non-lethally, and just like before he slumps, just grab and go. Best thing to do would be to inform the jailers of who he is. We need to go, and I think it is our duty to end this, get as much information as we can, and try and end this thing before it causes any more harm to this community.
Wise words, Kijo. Wise words.
Okay. I don't. Who's next? Mark. Mark, what do you want to do? Do you want to? Bear in mind, you and the bear are basically currently at the same time. So
I'm gonna sheathe my sword, and I'm going to appeal to the bear and say, look.
Appeal to the bear's better nature.
Oh, Militia's 14.
And basically, I'm going to aim to persuade him to calm that he needs to let the human side take over, and honor his own oaths and so on, and let the captain be punished in human terms, in order that justice can be seen to be done.
Okay. The bear. I would roll persuasion.
Also, Matt, my initiative is 15. Sorry, 14.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. What are you going to do,
okay.
Mark? Not Mark. Pete. What are you up to?
Well, let Mark finish, and then I'll have my turn if need be.
Okay. Because of his current form, you can tell that he's struggling inside. Is sort of his bear aggression and things is all it is focused on is his target, but you can tell with that confusion and that confliction that his focus, which seemed to be elsewhere, is now within this sort of inner battle, and that seems to humanize him slightly more. And
has he also seemed to respond to the fact that I attacked the person and is seemingly sort of like Byron is now non-responsive?
Yeah, I'm trying to find. Basically, there's a way out of this, but you're not sort of doing it, and it's just I'm trying to figure. I'm trying to think of a way if I can just sort of.
Which is giving the bear the.
Well, no, it's
Murdering
not.
the bear.
No, it's not. There's sort of. Right. Okay. I'm just going to tell you because I think it's just sort of. I think you might need him and stuff. Cast charm on him. Charm him.
Oh my god!
But what if we don't want?
So all of this, you could have done it, and you're all like at that point. Oh, yeah. So yeah, instead of like, I know I should let you kind of do your thing, but I think yeah, I'm trying to give you. I'm just giving you a hint. Not a hint. I'm telling you what to do.
Okay, I'm trying to hit. I'm clicking on calm person, but it's not generating anything. So do I just need to do the?
Yeah. Okay. Well.
5d8. Oh no! You attempt to charm a humanoid. Oh, I know. So it must make a wisdom saving throw without advantage if we're fighting it. If it fails, it's then charmed. Okay, so I don't cast it. You have to save against it.
Right. Okay. So where's the wisdom? Where is it? Oh, he's got clients. Okay. I'm gonna say disadvantage because he's in confliction and he's in his bear form, so his sort of wisdom isn't as high as his druid sort of thing. So yeah, you basically charm him, but you notice that with the fact that you've charmed him and you're basically speaking to him as the druid and not as the bear, he starts to sort of morph back into his human form. And instead of this slathering, angry bear, you have this quite tall, sort of dark-skinned, elven druid.
Mm-hmm.
Or is he human druid? I can't remember. One of the two. So he's a druid, and he's sort of there, and he sort of looks at you like it was all a dream. Like the whole thing was just sort of like, what's going on? He says, I've been in that bear form for so long. It's like he's come out of a nightmare.
Well, I hate to tell you, but welcome to Wonderland. We're not out of the woods yet.
We're not out of the woods yet. And he's just sort of like completely...
Walk a few feet. Oh, there we are.
He's sort of shell-shocked. He's not even bothered about Byron and stuff. He's sort of, he's just sort of like... Confused, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And that's it. So you've got Byron, you've got a druid, okay, so we got that. He's now turned. Pete, what's your action?
Well, it was going to be hold blindness, but since everyone seems to have calmed down, I'm just going to fight. Okay, fine.
Well,
everyone's groovy.
Ben hasn't really calmed down. He's turned because it's just like, but it's the bear doesn't want to kill Byron really anymore because he's, I think Ben still wants to kill Byron.
Well, hold on. No, I logicked it out that it would hurt the enemy more if this man was brought to justice and it was seen to be done. There's more use to hurt than me just killing him in the woods.
All right. Okay.
So
All right. Yep. Okay. Yep. Cool. All right, man. That's cool. We'll do that then. Okay, so right, that's it. Byron's there. He's knocked out. You have a new druid in your party. He basically tells you that he's a part of another order which you know about. It's the order of the Waning Moon. They are sort of the northern region of Freya, and they are the protectors of the central portal for the area. And he tells you that he's been in the same war as you. He's been trying to help, and he was here with his comrades to try and help the militia. He's come out to the forest with some of the militiamen to basically deal with some bandits in the area, and turned into bear form, which these militiamen have never seen in their entire lives, have freaked out. He's killed a bunch of the bears and attacked Byron. And you find out that the reason that Byron can't hear is because the bears basically clouded him so hard that he's knocked him deaf. He can't hear. But whatever's happened in that forest, which the bear could sort of sense and see, he can't. He sort of has sort of glimpses. He sort of has seen the same sort of things as you, but again, they're like dreams. They're not very vivid. It seems that as once he's got back into his sort of human form, that it's sort of starting to fade as it's the same with you guys. He doesn't understand why that he was stuck in the bear form. He sort of rationalizes it that maybe, because it takes concentration to stay in the bear form, that something must have trapped him in that view, and he couldn't concentrate his way out of it effectively. And so, you've basically got this long story about him fighting bandits with the militia running away, him basically killing some of them, attacking Byron escaping, you sort of see, he sort of mentions something. He's just like, I'm sure he saw something, but he can't really describe what he saw. Again, it's like the dream has started to dissipate and move. So that's it.
Okay.
Right. Do you want to leave it there then?
Yeah.
Yep, sounds good.
Cool. All right. Awesome. Yeah, that was very good. Very thorough. I'm sorry that I sort of railroaded you there and stuff at the end.
That's okay.
Because it was the option was going to be you would fight the bear, and you would kill the bear, or you might not kill the bear, or something like that happen. And it's just like, I think he's, the character could be useful, basically. And I didn't want it ending up with it being that way. So that's why I gave you the hint. Yeah. So, you could have possibly also, I'll throw you, the sleeping thing would have worked as well. If you put him to sleep, that would have worked too.
Yeah.
So charm him or sleeping would have those both would have done the trick. But you were sort of dancing around them and not doing them, and sort of just going, yeah, let's just kill the bear. And I'm just like, uh-oh. So, yeah. But yes, that's it. Thank you very much to everybody who has been watching. It's been quite a few numbers on and off at the time. But sorry for the technical difficulties at the very start. I may have to do an edit at the very start. Unfortunately, my microphone was off. But yeah, next week we will carry on from the, either looking around the Arrowhead Wood or going off somewhere else to try and figure out what the hell is going on. But yes, thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate that. I've enjoyed my night very much. For me, Matt Geary, I've been your Dungeon Master. We've had Peter Ray Allison.
Thank you very much.
Ben Fee.
Good night.
Daniel Delargy.
Good night.
And Mark Canty.
Have a charming evening.
Right, cheers, guys. Thank you very much, and good eve.